Yes, yes.
We should be on now. Yes. Yeah, but we've got to plug this into the.
Oh, yeah, so 0.5% body fat.
We just didn't take the speakers out. Must I just take this laptop away?
Surprise.
Dex, check if we live on the thing.
What do you mean? Must I like go on?
Just send me the link and I'll click it.
Just go on the group. Where's the phone? Should I just go on the group?
Yeah, because if my green light's not on yet, I don't know if it's actually
Yeah, I
live.
remember last time.
Present to everyone.
Dear golf.
I think it should be. Hang on 1 second. It's accidentally exited it again. Okay, double check it. Check if it loads. Because now we're on.
But it's super delayed. It's still the business.
Yeah, it's a bit delayed though. Well, worst case scenario, we're just gonna have to hear us speak, right?
No,
I was hoping that we could just show the presentation at the same time.
no, she can't.
Present to everyone.
Must I just hold this in and check it out?
Just, yeah, go.
Are you coming now? Cole, can you just get the cake?
It's called Maryland. Merlin.
I can see Merlin. It's great in the book.
Maryland. Why is it called Maryland? This is not walking. This is why another topic. It's
Tough crowd.
So when's the first come, first serve?
Everybody.
I don't know if
You're still a seat available there.
I can we're supposed to like take notes and stuff. I guess my diary.
I think you got a photographic memory.
Yeah, great. That's super delayed. Yeah, I don't know what it's showing now. Just go.
Yeah, just hang on.
It's like 20. I'll just intro and then I'll
Yeah.
rings.
They're all just stand together.
Someone
Always thinking of you.
Yes, listen. I'm sure we can put you guys like.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey!
Cool, I'm good too. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so most of you know me. I'm 24, almost 25, and to be honest, I'm actually fucking pumped up today. Like, just use the French words, but yeah, I'm super stoked. Yeah, so my journey kind of began when I finished school in 2009. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Took a gap year, probably like a lot of people. Am I right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, one. So yeah, that's what I did, and I didn't really do that much. I actually got a few jobs here and there, but yeah, a year later got into studying, and while I studied, I just delivered pizza, you know, because I had to pay the bills kind of while I was grafting, and I had a lot of rich and wealthy friends, and they always got the opportunity to go like party and do all these cool things, and I was like chilling with my grandparents because I was so broke, making excuses, you know. So that's what I kind of did, and yeah, so I met Graydon, I don't know when it was, about 3 years ago now actually, and he just invited me to one of these kind of things, and I was like, okay, cool. And I just sat down in the crowd like you guys, and I just listened to him quickly, and he said one of the things you need to become successful is you need to find someone who has what you want. And I was like, you was like super arrogant. But I was like, okay, cool, I understand, but why should I listen to you? And he just said, well, Dex, you're both studying, but I make about 10 times the amount you make. And I'm like, shit. You know, so I decided to do exactly what he did. He spoke about this network marketing industry, what you guys are going to hear about now. Yeah, 5 weeks later, quit my job, was boss free for the first time in 4 years, I think it was. So that was quite cool. And yeah, now I got into real estate. I worked a couple jobs here and there. I earned pretty good money. It's pretty flexible. I went surfing today, so it's cool and stuff. Calvin works with me and he's like, damn. But yeah, so that's what I do now. But my big dream and my passion is network marketing, because you'll hear the facts and the figures later. It's the only way for true freedom, and that's what I want to chase. And that's why we're all here, and that's what Graydon and Julian, that legend over there, is going to share with you guys tonight. So without further ado, I want to introduce the guy that got me into the industry, Graydon Boswell.
Awesome, sweet. Well, thanks very much for putting through, guys. I'm fucking frothing, excuse my swearing. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. I want to say thanks to Dex for introing me like that. My journey, I suppose, is kind of similar to Dex. I got into the industry like about 3 going on 4 years ago. And before that, basically what happened was I finished school. My parents said to me, you know what, you got to, do well in school, get a degree, and then go work a job. And I was like, well, that's freaking awesome, but I only get A averages for like life orientation, so I was a bit screwed on that point. And it's the truth. I mean, you can look at my national senior certificate and just see A, life orientation, 93%. But that's not really going to get you anywhere in life. And so what happened was, I finished school, my best mate called me up and he said, let's go work overseas, we can gain a lot of experience, and when we get that experience, it'll look good enough CVs. And when we come back to South Africa, we can just like walk into any job and everything will be cool. And I was like, sweet deal. So I went overseas and the credit crunch happened. Awesome, right? And what ended up happening was we worked all kinds of jobs, did really, really well sort of financially. And then instead of doing something smart with my money, I decided to take it all and spend it traveling. So at like 19 years old, 20 years old, I was traveling all over Europe. How many of you guys want to travel? Anyone want to travel? Yeah. Okay. I went to about 14 countries before I was 21 years old. Okay. And what that did for me was it totally opened my eyes to how one can live. And I think what's hard is when you grow up in a certain environment, you see how you live or how your friends live and how your family lives. It's kind of hard to imagine anything different. I mean, I studied my majors, and they say like you so often are just a product of your environment. And so if you're born into poverty, you're going to end up in poverty. But, I took a look at this and I saw, when I was traveling to Mallorca, traveling to Spain, I saw people in yachts. I saw like Ferraris everywhere. I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes. And I thought, this is how I want to live. This is what I want to do. Okay. But I didn't know how to get there. And so I think there's a lot of us sitting here tonight, and a lot of people in general have these massive goals and this huge ambition to go somewhere, but they actually don't know how to get there. Mm-hmm. And so what happened to me was my parents said, come down if we could get something behind your name. And that was about after my 4th gap year that I decided to do that. So I came back, got into studying, I majored in business and got straight A's for psychology, but I realized it's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to work for somebody else. And it's funny because our generation, especially let's say below 30, is looked at as like really lazy because we don't want to get jobs. It's not that we're lazy, it's actually because we just don't want to get jobs because we've seen how our parents have suffered, we've seen how our grandparents are, and something like 97% of people today have to retire relying on somebody else.
Sure.
97%. So I sit there and I go, cool, well, 97% of people get jobs, 97% of people say live your life like this. I probably shouldn't listen to them, I was going to end up like them, right? And so what happened to me was I was, doing a student hustle, I was bartending, I was DJing, I was looking after kids. I think I worked about 12 jobs in 2 years. Everyone says, can I see your CV? I'm like, no, because they ask me all these questions. Why didn't you work this job anymore? And I'm like, didn't like the boss. When I got up and don't like the boss, hate being told what to do. Well, I hate being told what to do. My girlfriend was like, Graydon, make your bed. I'm like, baby, I don't make beds, I make millionaires. And so, what ended up happening was I was bartending one night and I met this American guy. And he just said to me, I can teach you how to recruit a sales team and I can teach you how to make a lot of money. And me being like pretty skeptical, my hair was about this long. I was, smoking a bit too much weed, hugging trees, kind of not really going anywhere with life, but thinking that I was. And it's kind of like when you see those people on the treadmill at gym. I'm like, why did you drive 5 kilometers to run on a treadmill? You could have just ran the 5 kilometers. But anyway, the big thing that happened to me was I met this guy, and my dad just said to me, Graydon, you've got to listen to this guy. You've got to work with this guy. You've got to do what he's doing. And I didn't really want to listen to him, to be honest. And one day, by chance, literally just down the road here, I was sitting with my dad. I saw this American guy again, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he presented this industry to me. And when I saw it, if I'm deadly honest, I thought this is a freaking no-brainer. A lot of people will look at it and be skeptical, and that's fine. It's normal because we've been told this is how life is. But now there's this new way. It's kind of like, in the beginning, they told you couldn't fly. Now people are landing on the moon. And, if you told someone back then you're landing on the moon, they'd be like, you're fucking crazy. But now it's happening. And so, I sat with this guy and he said, I can show you how to get whatever you want. And this was mainly talking financially. But I'm going to talk a lot about money tonight, but it's not all about the money, okay? The thing is, it's just I'm massive into helping people, empowering them with money, because it's actually the biggest inequality in the world. People are going on about race and all, but the biggest inequality is money. And, if you don't believe me, just drive on the N2, go fetch Julian from the airport, and you'll see it. And so I wanted to help people financially. And Cliff and I ended up building an organization that started with about 4 or 5 people sitting on a couch into about 3,500 people in about 18 months. And as a student in second year of varsity, I was making between 40 and 50,000 a month as a residual income. And I really used to struggle. I really struggled to finish varsity because I was going to lectures in business with my lecturer telling me how to run a business when he'd never run a business before. Or they were telling me this is how you become an entrepreneur and I make more money than them. And so that's not to be arrogant, but that's the truth. And so, like Dick said, Cliff said to me, if you say what I say and you do what I do, you'll get what I get. And so we jumped on board Jeunesse, which is blowing my mind. If you look at the stats of the company, it's unbelievable. So maybe some of you just came here tonight to hear about like an opportunity. Maybe some of you came here to hear about a really good product. I'm going to cover both for you. But yeah, Cliff and I began, and he always used to joke to me because one of the biggest questions that I asked him was, why should I listen to you? And he said, because Graydon, at 19 years old, I was a petrol pump attendant, but by 25, I'd make $10 million US. I was like, damn. And he always used to joke about writing a book for $9.95, and he ended up writing a book for $9.95. Julian has a few if you want to get them, but my whole story is actually in here, so I've been immortalized. Pretty cool. But my whole story is here. So if you think anything that I just said was bullshit, here it is. This was a bestseller on Amazon as well. And so Cliff took me out, he's doing, and we joined this company. And so Jeunesse itself, the word Jeunesse is French for youth. The fastest growing direct sales company in the world now. 6 years, it hit $1.1 billion. So to give you an indication of how fast it is, you saw how fast Facebook grew, right? It's grown faster than Facebook, hit $1 billion faster than Facebook. You saw how fast Apple grew, it hit $1 billion before Apple, hit $1 billion before Instagram. It's flipping ridiculous, okay? But the difference between us and those companies is that 50% of that goes back to the people who built it. Okay, and so what I'm really excited about is the mission of Jeunesse. Basically, the company is all about keeping people young, but also helping people reach their highest and fullest potential in life. Okay, because the only way I can win in this company is if I help you win. Okay, and it's like that's not how the corporate structure is set up. It's like your boss never wants you to outperform him, otherwise he looks like a dud. Okay. But what's cool about what we do is we want you to perform us. We're like, you make more money than us. Yes, please do it. Make more money than us. Okay. So it's really, really cool. So they started what's called the youth enhancement system, and basically the whole company is reversing the aging process. Okay. Now, when I looked at this at 25 years old, I was like, how can I get passionate about skincare? That's so stupid. Like, only old women use skincare products and stuff like that. But the truth is, I love how everyone looks at the older lady in the room. It's quite funny. But you know, the big thing to me was I just saw opportunity. Okay. And so opportunity doesn't come knocking every single day. And when it does, most people turn it down. It's like we pray for something and we forget we prayed for it, and it shows up and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't need this. But then you go, wait, maybe I actually do. And so we've designed a whole range that literally takes the aging process back. Okay. And it starts with skincare products, so creams and things like that. And the big thing is we are at a massive advantage because we're the only company in the world that uses adult stem cells in our products. Okay, so someone's using our product for about 3 to 6 months. Okay, it'll actually reverse the aging process. So if you've got someone who looks about 50, they use the product for 3 to 6 months, it'll take about 5 to 10 years off their actual physical skin age. If they went to a dermatologist, looked underneath the microscope, and they went before they tried the products, and they go 6 months later, he'll be like, what are you using? Okay. And the big reason is because of growth factors, but I'll explain that later. And so you guys can take a look here at some of the results. I mean, it's just flipping ridiculous what is happening with these people, okay? And some of this is like within a couple of weeks. Now, I've been doing this for about 8 months. We've grown a team that started with about 20 or 30 people to about 1,500 people now in about 17 countries around the world, okay? And we're getting results like this. And I think it's one of the reasons the company is doing so well is because we actually have a product that works. Okay, and I have like so much confidence because we've got one that I'll show you just now that I just put on somebody's face and whoop, everything goes away. But if you take a look at this woman, she's a bit insane, but she only used it on the one side of her face and not on the other side. And you can see a look at that. I mean, you can take a look at that. And what's funny is, I mean, I know some of the guys looking there going like, why would I want to sell wrinkle cream to old people? The big thing is, you know, a very wise man once said, you know, if you want to be a millionaire, make products for men. If you want to be a billionaire, make products for women. Okay. And so you guys can see here, what the product does is it actually regenerates everything underneath the skin. Okay. So, you know, women were telling you, oh, I need an eye cream and I need this cream and I need that cream. This thing does everything. Okay. This is like all in one. It is flipping unbelievable, okay? So wrinkles, fine lines, blemishes, like if you know anybody with any kind of skin condition, you want to get them to try it out, okay? We've seen some pretty crazy results, but this is the product that is really turning a lot of heads because it's the only instant product on the market at the moment, okay? So, what's it playing through the speakers?
You want to squirt out a very small amount, flip the lid over, and reseal it. So you can use this file 2 or 3 more times. Is tap a very, very thin layer. I'm just tapping a very thin layer on her skin, but you want to leave it about 10 or 15% damp on the skin. Do not rub it all the way in because the product works as it's drying. So you want it to allow it to do this.
Okay, I'm going to start a timer. I can't see the...
You haven't seen anything yet.
You can use Instant Ages before or after your makeup. First of all, you want to do all your preventative maintenance and all the good stuff first.
What do you say? What do you think, Ken?
Such a happy song. It's important to note that I tell you guys that it only works for like baggage under the eyes, not like emotional baggage. Don't take that away. Like you got to figure that one out yourself. Okay. But here's some of the results that we've had with people with basically in 3 minutes. Okay. So you can see here bags, deep wrinkles as well. as well. So if you guys Google this, I mean, you just take a look at instantly ageless results, you will literally find thousands of pages, okay? Also with the serums, you will find thousands of videos. It is ridiculous, real time. And so the big thing about our products are growth factors, okay? This is the key thing in skincare. So no product in the market has adult stem cells in the product, okay? We're the only ones. We've patented our products as well, so you won't get competitors either, okay? No one can make the same product as us. Now, what's funny is certain skincare companies and like doctors are actually starting to hate us because we're taking their business away, okay? And Jeunesse is proving it over again. I mean, 1.1 billion. This year in the first quarter, they're up 105% from last year. Okay, so they've doubled already in its first 3 or 4 months of the year, which is crazy. And so the big thing is the growth factors. So your best products in the market, your serum, your Chanel's, all those kind of guys, well, they will go for about 7,500 Rand. I'll have about 8 to 10 growth factors. To give you an indication, if it's plant or, you know, animal stem cells, which most products are made out of, your body absorbs about 1% of that. 8. Not a lot. That Q10 eye cream that women love, that's 1 growth factor. Okay, so we're 245, okay, which is basically 20 times more powerful than the best thing on the market and nowhere near as expensive, which is freaking awesome. Okay, and so no product has this. So everyone's like, oh, I use this and I use that. It's not better. Like I'm telling you, it isn't. Okay, and when you go to beauticians, when you go to people in the beauty industry, they look at it and they actually can't believe it. Most people actually don't even know what they're selling. Isaac Carstens, which is one of the biggest makeup schools or whatever schools, I don't know, makeup, whatever, yeah, in South Africa, they've now actually introduced Jeunesse into their syllabus. Which is crazy, okay, pretty cool. So the big thing about us is we go all the way down. I know you guys like, dude, this is like grade 8 bio, I don't remember this shit, okay? But this goes all the way down to the hypodermic layer. So it repairs everything in between. So you will actually physically see it. People who've used it for 3 to 6 months, you will see huge changes compared to when they first got involved, okay, and started using the product. I love this. This is my favorite, a supplement called resveratrol. There's a very funny thing called the French paradox. They can't understand why the French drink so much, but they look so good. Okay, it's got to do with resveratrol. Resveratrol was discovered in red wine, and what it does is it keeps the internal system young. A lot of people go, oh, well, your skin will look good if you're healthy. That's true, but Jeunesse believes in feeding your skin from the outside and from the inside as well, because, you know, we've got pollution and there's all the stress. This is very good for women who are going through menopause, by the way, okay? But guys as well, if you guys are really, really active, unbelievable. Mix this with creatine, your recovery is freaking ridiculous, okay? Very, very good. Also good for endurance. We've had some crazy results with a family actually in Googs. They've all got arthritis. We can't make any claims. I'm not saying it's our product reserve, but resveratrol inside our product has had some miraculous things with people that have chronic pain, okay? We get calls like every couple of days, hey, I need more product, I need more product. So it's very, very cool. And it's nice to actually sell something that works. I mean, you saw the instantly ages, it works in front of your face, okay? And so a lot of people are like, I don't want to get involved in something like this because I don't like to sell to people. I'm like, bro, credit card. That's literally how simple it is, okay? So a lot of people, you know, they want to question, okay, how credible is the company? We actually just released in a magazine recently called The Hairdresser's Journal. It's got a big HJ. It's not hand job journal, okay? But I saw that HJ. And what was funny was I told my stepmother who runs the salon, hey, you've got to try this. And she was like, no. And then she saw it in her hairdresser's journal and she was like, I want it. And so what's really cool is we have third-party credibility, okay, which is awesome. So, I mean, it's really small, so you guys at the back that can't see, but we've been in Shape, Co, Prevention Magazine, we've been in Women's Health, Cosmopolitan. I mean, we've been in Vogue. But the difference between Jeunesse and all these other companies is this. Jeunesse does PR, which means they come to us and say, can we have your product in our magazine? We don't go to them and pay them shitloads of money, okay? That's freaking awesome, okay? So here's one of the South African Afrikaans magazines, we're in Finesse, really, really cool. So here's what I'm passionate about is the opportunity, okay? Especially for us younger people. I mean, there really isn't that much work. And it's funny because I'm 26 now. A lot of my friends now finished studying. They're going into work. And I'm like, out of all my friends, I'm like, how many of you absolutely love your job? Like you wake up in the morning and you actually can't wait to get to work. One person. Okay, so that actually makes 2 friends out of everyone that I know. I've got like 2,800 friends on Facebook. And if you guys check out Facebook, no, I'm liquor, eh? But when I first got involved, I only had like 300. So you see, you make friends in this as well. Virtual friends. But what's cool was, is in doing something like this is we've given people hope again. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, you're selling skincare." I'm like, I'm not really selling skincare. I'm selling like hope. I'm selling faith. I'm selling dreams to people. Because when I looked at this, I got involved to make like an extra 2,000 or 3,000 rand a month. And maybe that's all you want to do. Maybe you want to get involved to make friends. Maybe you want to get involved because you want to look better. Maybe you want to get involved because you want to make a boatload of money. Okay, it's up to you as to why you want to do something like this. But for me, I saw it as a platform to really get me to where I want to get to. I love to speak in front of people. I love to inspire people. And it's awesome. I mean, in my short career, I've spoken on stage in front of like 12,000 people before. Okay. And I never thought that was possible. And it's like, I realized with this, like we can actually go places, because what's awesome about Jeunesse as well, as a business opportunity, it's available in 123 countries around the world. And you can start for less than what it costs to just get a business license in South Africa. Okay. And so all through word of mouth, people are saying, why do you guys do word of mouth? Why don't you like put it into like shops and stuff like that? Well, here's why. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And most people don't want to admit that. And what's quite scary is we don't live in the industrial age, which is how so many people are still conditioned to believe. Okay. Like we're living now, like you guys seen Terminator, we're living in the time of the machines now. Okay. It just hasn't caught up. In Australia, they're already using courier companies that don't need people anymore. They deliver it with drones. Okay. So it picks up literally, like, let's say you order a book. All that happens is the courier sends off the drone. The drone just chills outside your house until you get there, and then drops the thing, and his programs just go back to the thing, back to the courier. Okay, so they don't need people. If you're working in, like, not to scare anybody, but this is a fact, if you're working in accounting, if you're a secretary, if you've got anything to do with admin, if you work on telecommunications, there's about a 90% chance in the next 20 years your job is going to be replaced by a machine. But what's so crazy about people is that we wait until things are so flippin' terrible and then we do something. It's like the biggest issue of the world is that I was talking to Julian about this in the car, we treat the cause as opposed to the effect. We wait for things to get so bad and then we try and do something. And so what's cool is you've got an opportunity here to jump on board and actually dictate life on your own terms. And so Jeunesse is still tiny throughout the world, $1.1 billion, okay, in 6 years, but it hasn't even hit 10% market share in any of the countries that it is available in. Sure. Okay, and it's just started. You want a global opportunity, you got 123 countries to operate in. Some of you are like, well, great, I don't know anybody outside of like my neighborhood. What's crazy is word of mouth advertising. I mean, we're in about, my team personally, in about 17 or 18 countries around the world. I didn't know those people, but I knew some people, and knew some people who robbed some people, and knew a couple of other people. Okay? And that's how it's grown. And so word of mouth, especially with our generation, is the most effective way to do stuff. Most people are talking crap on social media. You have a platform that can access over 1 billion people. Sure. It's like with the internet now, you actually don't have an excuse to not make money anymore. You actually don't. If you're broke, like, sorry to say, it's your own fucking fault. Okay, because there are so many ways, and the reason I can say it is because I've been there and I've got out of it. And when we're in that situation, it's so hard to look around and be like, oh yeah, there is hope for me. There is hope for you. Okay, you just got to make the jump. But what's funny is like people rather live their life in lies than change. What's a quote that I posted by Jim Rohn the other day? People will plan a holiday better than they'll plan their life, because change is so difficult. People rather just carry on with how they're going and escape. It's like most people travel not because they want to, they travel because they're trying to escape, they're trying to get away. He's old, he's chilling in Langebaan now for 3 weeks because he's stressed out about his job. He's 26. So the next 40 years is going to be like that. Average age to retire was 60, and now it's 72. Like, it's crazy. Average age to move out when our parents were young was 18. In South Africa now it's gone up to 28. In the UK now it's 36.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. And so that for me is the last thing I'm going to talk about before I bring Julian up. But the state of where we are now. And so I want you guys to really pay attention to where we're now, because our parents will tell us this is how you're supposed to do it. Some people will be very supportive no matter what we do, but here are the hard facts for you. So back in the day, I say most of our parents are pretty young during the 70s and 80s. Okay? And so back then, your average salary was between 2,000 and 4,000 rand a month if you worked for government. Okay? So if I worked for government, if I went straight out of school, I would go get my degree, then I'd go into government. So I'll be working in government about 21 years old. To get a house, equivalent to a £1 million house today, back then was 18,000 rand. Let's think about this for a second. What will R1 million buy you in South Africa, in Cape Town?
Dog.
A dog.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, it's crazy. Okay, so people are living where they don't want to live because they can't afford it. So 18,000 rand house there, cool. Your bond was 6% of what you earned. So 112 rand a month, and you could live in a lekker house. Okay. Here's what's even more crazy. Anyone here like whiskey? Okay, a few people like whiskey. Okay, check this out. A bottle of Jameson's, 750 mils, back then in 1974 was 6 rand.
What?
Okay, so if you work that from your salary, let's say you're making 2 grand, that is 0.05%, okay, of what you earned. So let's take it to now. To qualify for R1 million house, how much you need to earn? 30 grand a month. How many of you guys' starting salary made 30 grand a month? Okay, even after 5 years, even after 10 years. So that's what we do. We go, okay, cool. Well, this house is $1 million. What I'll do is in 5 years' time, I'll be making 30 grand a month. Then I'll buy the house. Okay, cool. 5 years goes by. You're making 30 grand a month. If you have a really good promotion for 5 years straight, okay, that happens. But now, because we live in Cape Town, your house is now 1.6 million rand. So now for the bank to qualify for a loan, you make 45. So then you go, okay, cool. Well, in 5 years from now, I'll be making 45 grand. You're literally like the donkey chasing the freaking carrot. Never going to get it. Okay? And this is fact. But here's the thing that blew my mind the most. Not that song, but what is that, bro?
Call open the
But it
laptop.
blows my mind. I was close.
But anyways, so yeah, he's trying to like lift the mood. But anyway, so here it is. So a bottle of Jameson's today, okay, is 240 rand a bottle. Okay. Now, if you want that to equal 0.05% of your salary, like it was in 1974, you'd have to make 175,000 rand a month. So our quality of life gets less and less and less and less and less as time goes by, because we're in the same mindset of something that they designed 200 years ago. And so what I'm saying is we've got a way out. And so what happened to me was I got super, super lucky. I met Cliff and I just worked my butt off. We jumped into this and I worked my butt off. And I met this guy standing behind me, Julian. Now, Julian is a legend in the industry. I was like, bro, I don't really know. I've been talking to him quite a bit on Facebook, and I was like, bro, I don't really know you. Like, tell me a bit about yourself. But I mean, this guy has some crazy facts. I mean, he's made over $100,000 a year, up to $200,000, $300,000 a year in previous companies that he's been in, which is flipping awesome. Okay, and what's cool as well is he's only 28 years old, but he does like a whole transformation thing as well, where he teaches people how to break through all their limitations and stuff like that. So, you know, he's a man of it. He's actually not even on our team, but he's come down here to help us and to basically serve. He just says to me all the time, I'm like, Julian, should we do this? He's like, great, and I'm just here to serve. And I'm like, sweet, bro, give me a steak. No, I'm kidding. But what's cool is we've got someone here who really actually wants to help us. And so that's what I love about our industry, is that they will send people out to us to help us, and they don't even know us. I met Julian like 2 hours ago. Okay, and he's here to help us build. So I want to bring up the man, the legend, Julian Doan, to come share a story.
How do you follow that, right? No pressure at all. You know, I'm just sitting there, I'm just thinking, man, everything sounds so better with an accent. Everything he said sounds so eloquent, even though like some of the statistics were so depressing. I'm just sitting there like, wow. Hopefully for you, my accent sounds good. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to fool myself, right? For doing such a wonderful job. I mean, you're so lucky that, you know, one thing that's crazy that my mentor always taught me, that an artist is never really appreciated in their own time, and a prophet's never really appreciated in their own land. I read all the time. And, you know, for some of you who work with Graydon for such a long time, here's what happens. Is that when you first meet somebody, because they're so edified, you respect them so much because you hear all their accolades, you hear all these different things. And it creates kind of a myth about them, right? That they're not even human. And what happens as you get to know them for a long time, respect kind of goes down and trust goes up because you know them so well. And a lot of times we forget the people that we work with and how lucky we are to work with them. So if we can, just one more time, give another round of applause for Braden. So really, I'm here for one reason only. Cliff sent me out here to move, touch, and inspire you, to show you that, one, you don't have to be good looking. Number two, you don't have to be tall. Number three, you don't have to be a model, right? As soon as I landed here, I'm looking at Graydon, I'm looking at Dex, I'm like, man, do you have to be a model or good looking to do this business, right? You fit in, bro. Don't worry. You're not so uncomfortable. You had this look on your face like, do I fit those clothes? You're good. You're good. And that gentleman in the back looks like he could be the next James Bond after this. That's kind of how I feel right now, right? But so that's why I'm here, to show you don't have to be like that. But I guess I'll share my story just so we're not complete strangers. I don't really have that much of an inspiring story. You know, I grew up in America. My parents immigrated from Vietnam. They're super wealthy. They worked for the government. I had everything growing up. I got good grades. I was captain of my tennis team. I went to a really prestigious school called UCLA. Anybody here familiar with UCLA?
Yeah.
That? UCLA, graduate, top honors. I'm just kidding. I made all that up. I made all that up. If you believe that, you're racist. Congratulations. You're like, wow. Everything they say about Asian people is true. And so if you believe that, you're racist, okay? I'm just saying, you're all racist, okay? No, I share that with you because you guys like that, huh? Yeah, I share that with you because a lot of times when we take a look at a business, we think that we have to be a certain type of way to succeed, or we have to fit certain criteria. And Graydon and Dex definitely look like they fit that, right? Good looking, tall, white, all that other stuff, right? All the things I wanted to be when I grew up. So. Yeah, you think it's different halfway around the world, but no, it's pretty much the same. But for me, I'm just kidding. That represents one end of the spectrum. I was on the other end. We didn't grow up broke. We always had what we needed. Barely got the things that we wanted, but I knew how to ask. How many of you know what I'm talking about, right? Because when you're a kid, you don't really know the difference of like the poverty, whatever it is, how hard they work. But you always knew your way with your parents, and that's kind of how I was. And so for me, it was a little bit different. You know, you probably can't relate with me, but growing up, I was the nerdy, geeky Asian kid. So I don't think you guys have a lot of Asian people here, so you probably don't know what that's like, right? So let me paint a picture for you. In the high school, I was the kid that everybody knew who he was, but didn't know his name. I was a kid with a roller backpack right into class. You know, I was a kid during lunchtime playing Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! You guys know what that is? Yeah. I was super into comic books. Didn't have my first girlfriend until I was 19, so obviously I couldn't sell anything, right? I'm just going to assume you're laughing with me, not at me. I'm just going to make up whatever supports me, okay? So that's kind of how I grew up. Didn't have a lot of friends, but you know, I knew I wanted to become successful. I knew I wanted to do something different. I wanted to create some type of significance. And I don't know if you ever felt that way, but for me, growing up, I just said someday, some way, somehow. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm meant to do something. And I never really fit in, and maybe that was the biggest indication why that I never fit in. And I tried to do what everybody else was doing, didn't really work out. And when I saw network marketing for the first time, I saw it at 18 years old. I saw it about 10 years ago. I'm 28 now. And when I first saw it, I can't really explain to you why I got started. I mean, the reasons why I bought in were kind of complex. But just seeing all the stories, all the testimonials of people sharing how much their life has changed as potential. I saw it as the potential to be something great that can make something happen, not just for me, but for people. And I thought, man, maybe what if this is it for me? What if this can serve as a mechanism for me to support people in reaching their full potential? You know, I don't know, maybe part of it was because I was not happy with where I was in my life. I wasn't happy with the results I was producing. And just seeing all these people have the results, it became very real for me. Or maybe it was just because I was looking for something to be excited about. Because I didn't want to live the same day over and over and over again and call that a life. You know, how many of you have ever had this, right? You come home from work, you're driving, and you pull up to your driveway, and you don't even remember driving. Anybody ever had that experience? You're like, hi. But you know what's scary? That's how some people live their lives. Sure. Or one day they wake up at 25, they wake up at 30, they wake up at 45, 50, and man, how did I get here? Like a whole life on autopilot. I didn't want that. I wanted a life of significance. I wanted something different. And you know what's crazy? I got started in this industry. My first 5 years, I had no success. I made no money. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take you 5 years. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is because I didn't have the right leadership. I didn't have the right mentorship. I didn't have the same resources that all of you have. You have Graydon, you have Cliff, you have people that truly care about this marketplace. And what's crazy about that is, you know, being in this industry for 10 years, my first 5 years, I made no money. The last 5 years, I made about $600,000, $700,000. I've been able to travel all around the world. It's been such a great experience for me. And so why do I share that with you? Because all that kind of shaped my perspective on network marketing. See, what you're taking a look at tonight is an opportunity. And I say the word opportunity because there's no guarantee. When you hear the word opportunity, what do you think of? What do you think of? A chance, right? That's the best word. It's a chance. How many of you ever said growing up, man, if I only had a chance?
Yeah, sure.
Well, this is it. So many people miss opportunity because of how it looks like. So many people, man, if I had it, after tonight, you can no longer say that you never had a chance. If you're a guest. But I say it's an opportunity because it's a chance. It's not a guarantee. Because who's it up to? It's up to us. We create the value. It's a little bit different than most people is what kind of opportunity this is. Now, is it an opportunity to improve people with their health? Absolutely. They're a great product. Remove fine lines and wrinkles in 90 seconds. How many of you can agree that's a pretty easy sell?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how skeptical you are. In fact, find the most skeptical people. Why? Because the more skeptical you are, the more wrinkles you have. Isn't that true? Right? Here's a funny one. Okay, here's a funny one. How many of you have ever noticed? And it's the same all around the world, right? Men have wrinkles like this. And women have wrinkles like this. You guys want to know why? Because every day, this is what happens. Men come home, women goes, where's the money? Men go, I don't know. Right? You like that, right? So it's 90 seconds. It works, you know? Products work right away. I call it wow factor products. When people see the products, they see the results, what do you think they say? But when I saw it, I didn't say wow, I said WTF. And we all know what that means. Well, that's fantastic. That's what that means. You didn't know what WTF, that's what it means. So we have great products, but it's not about the products. It's not even about the money. You know, the money is great, you know. Money isn't everything, but when you have it, when you don't have it, that's all you think about. But for me, it's a little bit different. And it changed my life in so many ways that I want to share with you my view on it. Now, this is not the truth. It's just my interpretation. But I invite you to consider it anyways. That what Jeunesse is an opportunity for you to recreate and redesign your life as you see fit. Where you could be, do, have whatever it is you want. No exceptions. Because a lot of times we grow up and just Graydon said it perfectly, right? However we grew up, we think that's how it's always going to be. I used to grow up saying, man, I don't have the right last name. I'm not born in the right zip code. I don't know what you guys call it here, but I wasn't born in the right neighborhood. I didn't have the right last name. That's why I'll never be successful. But this is an opportunity to change all that. Where it doesn't matter your last name. It doesn't matter where you're born. Create it yourself, where your kids were born in the right neighborhood, where your children will be born with the right last name. See what's lived their life, and they think they have control, but they really don't. And now you always use this example of Disneyland. I'm not sure if many of you have been to Disneyland, but Disneyland, there's this ride called Autotopia. And that's one of the favorite rides for kids, right? And the favorite position that kids like to be on is the driver's seat, because as you turn the wheel, it moves. And that ride, I think, is very similar to how a lot of us live our lives. We think we have control of our lives, but we don't. We're taught the same thing. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work, live happily ever after, right? All that stuff. And that's the plan that society's put us on that says this is how you need to do it. But for some of us, that doesn't resonate with us. For some of us, that doesn't call to us. But what happens? Society makes it wrong. So as soon as we're driving, we feel like we're in control. And we start doing our own thing. What happens? We bump into that rail and it pulls us back. Network marketing can be scary because it takes us off that rail and we create our own path. But you know what's exciting about that is we create our own path. You see, Graydon said it best. You know, when I saw this, I looked at my mentor, I go, man, you know, how am I supposed to get excited about skincare? And you know what he said to me that was so smart? He says, Julian, what you love to do should be your hobby. What everybody else loves to do should be your business. And make no mistake about it, skincare is a huge market, but not just that, but health and wellness, huge market. You combine that together, people are always wanting to look better, be healthier, and live longer. And we have that. Now I know a lot of you are young, So maybe you're not even spending money on that type of products. But think about it. When you're young, we trade our health for wealth. Isn't that true? We work our butts off. We trade long hours to make the money. But then you look at the later half, what do people do? They start trading their wealth for health. They're starting spending the money to get their health back. For us, we have an opportunity to have both. So when I saw Jeunesse, I see an opportunity for us to be able to give people the freedom to create the life that they want. Now, am I saying skincare and this is the end for you? No, this could be the beginning for you. Imagine if you had money and time together, what would you do? See, most people, they love food. They want to start a restaurant. You know what they do? They save money their whole entire life. And they gamble all they have to start a restaurant. And then what happens? If it doesn't work out right away, they start getting into survival mode. Start cutting corners, start doing all these different things. But then the things that they love no longer become a passion. And if it fails, what happens? They lose everything. But what if you do build this business? What if you made an extra residual income, 20, 30,000, whatever it is out here, and then you started a restaurant? How differently would you run that restaurant knowing next month you have more money coming in? Now what happens? You have the freedom to reinvent, to recreate. That if problems happen, you're not focusing on the interruptions, you're focusing on the commitment, and things can adjust. So whatever your passion is for you, what if you had the money and time together? That's what I want to introduce you to. Trust me, when I grew up, I didn't say, man, when I grow up, I want to find a really good skincare company because I love the way it exfoliates my skin. That's not what I said, right? Brandon said it, right? How many people work at jobs they like? Most people work at jobs they don't like. Why? Because they need to make the money. So we're going to work hard at something we don't like to make the money. Why not work at something different that can make us more money, but we can give back to people at the same time? You see, when I saw Jeunesse, I didn't see it as an opportunity for me to invest in myself. I saw it as an opportunity for me to invest into other people. And so, I mean, it's huge. So I mean, I can go on forever and talk about this. I know we're gonna have a little bit of trading afterwards, so I'll go more into detail about it. But in closing, if you're a guest, I'm just gonna ask you 3 questions of a mentor asked me. You don't have to answer it out loud, but just think about it. And these 3 questions, I've asked it in so many different countries and so many different things. And here's the exciting part. I'm not here to convince you to join Jeunesse. I'm not. Do I think Jeunesse is the only opportunity in the world that can help you become financially independent? Absolutely not. It's the best one I've found. But it's not the only one. So I'm not gonna lie to you, say it's the only one, but it's the best one I've ever found. And we're not looking for everybody. When your friend invited you, we didn't say, hey, bring your most broke up, broke people you know. That's not what we said. What we're looking for are people that might be stuck in their life, people that want more. Maybe they just don't have direction. That's what we're looking for. And so the 3 questions I want to ask you, the first one my mentor asked me was, Julian, do you have a plan to become financially independent in the next 2 to 5 years? And before I could answer, he says, look, if you already have a plan, you probably don't need Jeunesse. But Jeunesse is a great plan to throw on top of it. How many of you would travel halfway tired? No one, right? So why should we go through life? We'll do that. They gamble it all. They have nothing. But here's what my mentor told me was, Julian, if you already have a plan, just throw on top of it. Because money's good, more money's better. And again, we talk about money, right? But money's not everything. Trust me. Money's not everything. Think about the things that you care about most in your life. And you can rank, right? For me, it would probably be, my family, my friends, and my past. Whatever it is for you. Some people love cars. Some people love music. Whatever it is that you care about that's valuable to you, what does it take to nurture it? Money. So when we talk about money, what we're really talking about is the options and the freedoms that you want in your life. Now, here's what's cool about it. You don't have to take my word for it. Inc. Magazine ranked us the #1 fastest growing company in the DSA, Inc. Magazine. You can take their word for it. You can take the 125 countries we're doing business in. How many? You know what's funny? Some people are so skeptical. They go, Julian, how do I know this is a legit company? I go, well, in 6 years, we did over $1 billion. We outgrew Apple. We outgrew Facebook. We're already doing business in 125 countries. We're recognized by some of the most prestigious magazines in the world. Other than that, what would you consider a legitimate company? Right? So I was like, man, I don't know. I'm like, hey, I need to do some research. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the 125 countries we do business in have already done the research for us to do business in their country. I'm pretty sure they have more than Google, right? I need research on Google. It's crazy. So it's already a great plan to have. Now here's what's scary. If you don't have a plan, what's scary is if you don't have a plan, chances are you're going to fall into someone else's plan. And guess what? Guess what they have planned for you?
Not much.
Not much. You know, right now in America, there's such a big debate on who's gonna become president. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, all these different things. But you know what I know? No matter who's in the office, no matter how great of a plan they have, it's not going to dramatically change anybody's life. The only person. So if you don't have a plan, you need to come up with a plan. Now, a lot of you are young. Maybe you're comfortable. Maybe you're still living at home with your parents. Maybe they take care of your cell phone bill. They take care of your bills, and it's comfortable. And you're like, oh, I don't need this right now. But ask yourself, 5 years from now, if your conditions don't change, would you still be comfortable? 10 years from now, would you still be comfortable? What would happen when you meet the love of your life and you want to get married? Could you? And if you won't be comfortable then, when should we do something about it? Now. So you don't have a plan, have a plan. And then the second question is kind of the one I just asked. He said, Julian, when do you think is the best time for you to make a decision to change your life? And I said, now. You know, again, Graydon hit the nail on the head. Most people wait for something bad to happen before they decide to make a change. And isn't that scary? Let me tell you something. People don't just walk down the street one day, trip, fall over, and all of a sudden develop cancer. That's not how it happens. It's years and years of bad decisions added up. But you know what my mentor taught me? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Why not do something about it now so nothing ever comes up? And if it comes up, you're prepared to take care of it. You know, the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is an unforeseen medical emergency.
Drugs.
Yeah, America, right? Whether pharmaceutical or non-pharmaceutical, it's a big epidemic, right? So my question to you is this: when is the best time to make a decision? I say now. And again, all these questions I'm asking you doesn't have to revolve around genetics. If you don't have a plan, get a plan. It doesn't have to be genetics, but get a plan. If you're not happy where you're at, do something about it. The third question he asked me, he goes, Julian, look, isn't it true that your dream home, someone else is already living in it? I go, yeah. He goes, your dream car, isn't someone else already driving it? I go, yeah. He goes, someone else's parents, aren't they already taken care of? I go, yeah. He goes, what's the difference between you and them? Do their families deserve it more than yours? I thought about it. I go, no. He goes, the only difference is that they made a decision. They had courage to go after what they wanted. They went out there and they made it happen. And those are the same three questions I asked you. Because what we have here, it's so big, and I'll talk more about it into the training because I don't want to take too much time, but it's so much more than making money. That's what it might seem like right now. Let me ask you a question, okay? Then you make the money, then what? Then your life changes, then what? What about everybody else? You know, one of the cool things that I see about a lot of young people is that you don't have to carry on the demons of your parents. You don't have to carry on the demons of the generation before you. When I look around this room, I see possibility. Do you realize, I don't even know how long, maybe 20 years ago, being in this room together would not be possible? So already, think about it. What we're doing right now, 20 years ago was impossible. So what else are we going to do? Wait for the government to change it?
Not
But what if you could? Look around. Look what you brought together in this room. See, my philosophy is a little bit different because I guess how I grew up, whatever it is, my mission in network marketing is different. It's an opportunity. I mean, if I had a whiteboard, I'll show you, but I'll do it later. But the way I can describe what we're doing for people in their lives, imagine people born in darkness. And all they have is a flashlight that has been passed down from generation to generation to generation. And every day they go the same route because that's the route their parents have showed them. That's the route their friends have showed them. And all they know is all they know. And what we have the opportunity to be, and I don't know if you ever experienced this, but a flash of lightning in the night sky. Have you ever been somewhere where it's pitch black and you see lightning and it just lights up the sky and all of a sudden it's scary but beautiful at the same time? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what we get to be in people's lives. Scary and beautiful. Where we light up the night sky and all of a sudden we see all these different things that we didn't know was there. That there's so much out there that they didn't know what they didn't know. And just like that lightning, it disappears. But what doesn't disappear for people is now they know there's more out there. It's up to them to go out there and get it. And so I share that with you because, look, Graydon gave you an introduction to a whole world out there that maybe you didn't know. A world maybe that you didn't think was possible for you up until now. Because of what you thought your last name meant, where you thought you grew up, or what you think society has taught you. What's cool about our generation, and as time moves on, we live in a generation where we can truly be as long as we're willing to work hard at it. So that being said, thank you for coming down. We're gonna do a little bit of training afterwards. I'll talk a little more into it. But I look forward to meeting with you, and I'll be here to Tuesday. And so building a relationship and everything like that. So thank you guys.
Basically what we're gonna do, we're probably gonna have a break for like 10-15 minutes, and then we're gonna go into training. So for those of you who are new and you don't want to step with training, there is the door. But yeah, no, I'm from team. So yeah, you're gonna take a break 10-15 minutes. If you want to stick around for training, you're more than welcome to. If you don't, you're more than welcome to leave. Thanks for pulling through. And I think it's really simple. The person who brought you is just gonna ask if you're an A, B, or a C. A is like, dude, I'm all in. I want to do it. B is like, bro, I'm all in. I want to do it. C is like, bro, I'm all in. I want to do it. But A is, you know what? I really want to do it. I want to get started. So you should probably stay behind for the training. B's like, you know, I want to get involved. I just got to like sell my little sister or something to get the money together. And C is like, you know what, bro, thanks for inviting me, but I'm not keen. So thanks very much to you guys for putting through. And we'll probably hit training in 15 minutes. So cheers. Yeah, we're going to organize the whole place.